What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. It took a long time off of making videos, obviously, but I was in the middle of moving and I just got my internet back, so that's pretty much the reason why, or that is the exact reason why I was going to post a video today, but my car battery died, so when it rains, it pours, I suppose. But going back to Master Duel here, and I'm playing Monarch Eldlich. This is a random deck that I just love to play. I'm playing Virtual World here, and he messes up really bad in his first turn. Like, it's just a bunch of random Google gobble. But the duel does actually get pretty interesting, so I will show it. And he makes King of all calamities, but not turn one. But looking at my hand, I mean, this is really just weird, right? Three sanguine, the monarchs are up, and domain of the true monarch. So hopefully I can get something good off the top. We'll see what it ends up being. He goes into like he doesn't even go into Shenshin. He goes into Ravenous Croco Dragon or so, whatever it's called. Croco Dragon, and let's see here, because he's okay. So obviously he's trying to go into True King of all calamities, and I think he just doesn't get there. This ends up being Stardust Charge Warrior, which is kind of cool. Which doesn't do anything. He's going to draw a card, so he's drawn a bunch of cards this turn, but it actually doesn't turn into anything at all. Okay, so I get Eldlich, so I'm thinking this is pretty good, actually. It's kind of one of the better top decks outside of maybe Pantheism. So I'm going to try to target the back row, thinking it's Chuchi, but I was right. So I'm looking good. I can also, chain the Scarlet Sanguine, but he does actually have Called by the Grave, so I'm off to a really bad start here in the duel, just in general. Like, these two cards are obviously just offline. But I can get a Conquistador next turn, and I can get a Scarlet. So I am going to at least have a pop. And I set these as a bluff. Normally I'm not for bluffs, but at this point, like, Lightning Storm's completely offline, so I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to go ahead and try to hit this Chuchi right off the bat, just in case he doesn't have a normal summon that he can use for his virtual worlds, because this is going to be like a stepping ladder, right? Because if he can't do this, it's going to be harder for him to combo. And there we go. So he ends up using like Croco Dragon to pop my card, and he pops the Scarlet. So I'm feeling pretty good. I was wrong. He did have the normal summon here with the, what is this one? GG, I think it's called. Yeah. And then he did have Kieran in his hand, but that doesn't exactly equal anything because he doesn't have any discard fodder off of Qinglong. So he's not going to get a good search out of this. He's not going to be able to get into Chuchi at least. So he's going to level manipulate here, and I think he's going to go into a 6, if I'm not mistaken, which ends up being Constellar. Okay, I mean, he's going to be able to return a Lily back to his hand, which could certainly be pretty good, because I guess he can now get a Chuchi, although now that I'm thinking about it, I popped one, right? I believe. So if I look in the bottom here, yes, I did pop one, and then I did get one off the field, or he did banish it before to level manipulate, and he also activated Pot of Desire, so I'm thinking he got rid of his third copy. If he didn't, he is one lucky son of a gun. But here comes True King of all calamities, and this is a little bit weird. That's probably the best way to put it. Scarlet can go ahead and activate. He's going to go ahead and use True King of all calamities, calling Divine, which I feel like he should have just called Light. I don't really know why he did that, but okay. So Conquistador can go ahead and get set, which is going to be huge, right? I'm going to draw a couple more cards, another domain. Always cool to be able to set that card. Obviously, it's some of the best energy in the deck there. Probably should have special summoned this in defense position, honestly. Although I think I'm going to end up tribute summoning here, but I don't know. We'll see what I end up doing. I think that's what I do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and normal summon the Eldlich here. That way, more importantly, the Monarch's Erupt is online, which probably is going to make a huge difference here. This is a passive effect, so even if it's negated with Monarch's Erupt, nothing happens, unfortunately, so that kind of stinks. But more importantly, during this entire turn, no matter what happens, he's not going to have monster effects. So Shenshin comes back, and he has like a really big advantage here, but luckily this is negated, so this doesn't get banished, it's negated. I'll pop his True King of all calamities, so it's not online next turn, and then I can actually activate the Scarlet and grab myself an Erebus from the deck. So this is kind of a cool interaction here, because now I have this body on the board and I can recover this from the graveyard. It's a really important interaction in the deck, one of the most important, because it technically gives you access to your Monarch stuff at any time. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and set Pantheism, another cool interaction in this deck, because I can use Eldritch Effect to bring this back. Obviously there's no True King of all calamities here, and then I can bring this battle phase is going to be pretty important. So I think I'm going to go ahead and attack into the Lily. That way, even if he draws a virtual world, he's not going to be able to go into anything. Now, I can do a couple of cool stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and crash into here. So this goes to the graveyard. Getting rid of Shen Shen is always a good thing. So now he has no virtual worlds on the field, which is super good. Now I can use the effect of the Erebus in the graveyard. I have not normal summoned yet. Keep that in mind. And then I can go ahead and bring back the Prime Monarch, set this down to 1, and then I can normal summon here. I'm going to normal summon, go ahead and pitch the card off his hand because this card literally isn't doing anything at this point. So see you later. Don't know what it is, but definitely not going to be used this turn, obviously. And he can't combo off of 1 card, right? Qinglong isn't going to do anything for him. So I've clawed my way back into this game, even though he had Shrieking of All Calamities. So I thought that was a pretty cool duel, all in all. We'll go ahead and keep going here. There's like 5 of them. My Master Duels are so like long. Like they're cool. I like the display of them, obviously. But yeah, if I had like a list of like 10 replays, I'd be here for like 30 minutes. And I think it's better to, I don't know, I guess I could speed them up. But in any case, I think these 5 duels are probably a pretty good showcase. If you're wondering what the heck Cybernetic Magician's doing here, it's because it's a target for Magician Souls, because that ritual for Dark Magicians like isn't out yet, obviously. Because they're like way behind when it comes to this. My other target is for, like, it's just a cheap target because it's a normal Dark Magician of Chaos. And technically, if you normal summon it, it's a good card because you get to add something, a spell back to your hand, which could be Domain of the True Monarchs, could be Pantheism. It could be a few different things. So it's a decent tech card, obviously. Normal summoning Eldlich is always hilarious, by the way. I mean, it is really funny. It's a good lock here, especially if you have something like Conquistador 2. So it's kind of like this cool, like, layered thing. But yeah, this is just used as a way to normal summon mostly. And this ends up being a really awkward matchup, one that I thought I was just going to straight up lose, but this deck is so cool. So no effect there. He does have Dragon Shrine, so he's going to go ahead and send a couple of them. And I never realized this, which is really cool, by the way. Galactic Spiral works in the hand or graveyard, which is amazing. That card is really good and underrated in my opinion, but okay. Okay, so he's going to bring this out. He can't go into the extra deck, so sorry. But he does have these big 3,000 attack bodies, so I'm thinking, how am I going to get over this? This is kind of weird. We'll see what I end up doing. I do have Antrim of Frofright, as I like to call it. So I'm going to be able to draw an additional card, so hopefully it's a good one. And I'll go ahead and use that. Plus, it's going to be Tribute Fodder, just really good. I end up drawing into an Erebus, showcasing just how good this card is, obviously. Erebus comes down. Erebus can send a couple of cards. Pantheism and Prime, which is really cool. I can shuffle back a normal Blue Eyes because I don't want to shuffle this back into the deck. He draws it and then he gets to special summon it back again. Like Blue Eyes is a brick to draw, so that was the reason behind that. I can go ahead and send this extra copy there of the Monarch Erupt to special summon the Eldlich, the Golden Lord, which is always fine and dandy. I can go into the battle phase and clear his board. It's going to be 100 extra damage here actually because this goes to 3,600. Not that it mattered too much, but okay. So this is going to go back to normal, but I do have the double lock here again. So with only 3 cards, I can't imagine Blue Eyes can do too much. You know, I can go ahead and bring back this. So I can go at least normal summon maybe into the Cybernetic Magician, which is kind of neat. But off the top, I do get Ether, so even better, right? Because this is only 1 tribute, so this is like one of the better ones. Targets for Magician Souls. I think it's like probably the best target because there just aren't that many. Ether can summon Ether, so just a bunch of big 2,800 attack bodies can go ahead and finish this game off. So pretty impressive I was able to get through like that board with big bodies. It's kind of like the antithesis. Like it's kind of like the way you beat this, I feel like. But there I was able to kind of figure it out. I think this is just a setup, and he probably ends up just scooping, but pretty cool to see. Like the deck is fairly consistent. I maybe don't have it as good as I wanted to. I'm thinking about playing like Max C. I do play Infinite Impermanence right now, and I think it's kind of a little better, to be honest with you. It gives you a chance at going second. And I'm not going to lie, this deck isn't the greatest thing ever. It's not like a meta deck, whatever you want to call that, in Master Duel. But it's pretty decent. So this is obviously one of the better setups you can have just in the game in general. You get both of your draw cards. Tenacity can go ahead and get me something, so that's going to be Domain. And then I can normal summon Erebus. I may use the effect because you might as well just like leave one of these out here for Tribute Fodder next turn. Why not? And plus, technically, if it stays on the field, you don't have to activate, you know, the, what's it called? I'm going to search it right now. The Monarch Erupt. If you don't use it, you can still technically use this if you have another card. It's like maybe like a 1 in 20 chance that you do that, but might as well give yourself that 1 in 20 chance. Okay, so I pitched a card out of his hand. He can't go into the extra deck, and he also, you know, is skill drained. So hopefully that's going to be enough. More than likely it is. I don't really know what Tenyis are doing here. I think this is like a pure Tenyi deck, but he can't even go into the Link 1, meaning that his Tenyi plays are meaningless, right? Which is kind of funny. I think I ended up playing Leerless Tri-Brigade too, so a little bit of everything. I ended up playing Drytron. It was a really close duel. It ended up being so annoying. He kind of had some of the best top decks I've ever seen in my life, but that's neither here nor there. So another weird looking hand, but I can work with this. You kind of have to get a little creative here, but we'll see what ends up happening. I'm going to search an Eldlich, okay, and then I can use Tenacity of the Monarchs. I'm going to go ahead and search a domain. Domain can go ahead. Okay, Eldlich can send a Scarlet, which can send the Cursed Eldwin, so it looks like I'm negging a lot, and I think I end up due, but I think it ends up being back to 5 cards, because you get a lot of advantage. So Scarlet can go ahead and send Golden Castle Forever, jeez. That can go ahead and send a Conquistador, so I'm going to get a Scarlet again during the end phase. And then I can go ahead and use this, send the other Scarlet there. Kind of awkward, but it's decent follow-up for sure. Special summon this, bring out the Ether. So I think the lock is just more important and an advantage more than anything. But like I said, you still get some pretty cool stuff. I'm going to be able to normal summon during his turn or tribute summon, whatever you want to call it. I can send a couple cards here. Give myself a Monarch's Erupt. The Prime Monarch can come out too. Sure, why not? Just kind of as prep for next turn. But Conquistador can give me a Scarlet. And the Scarlet can go ahead and at least protect my back row. I feel like if I have a domain lock plus a skill drain and I have backup to negate maybe a Harpy's Feather Duster, I'm feeling pretty good. You're going to go ahead and use Call by the Grave. Good for you. That's all fine and dandy. Because I have another one in the deck, of course. So Eldlich is going to go ahead and come down, and I have this. So he only has 5 cards left. He's got to deal with 2 of the biggest floodgates maybe in the entire game. Or 2 of them, I should say. This is all cool. Like, you can do a whole bunch of Tri-Brigade stuff, and I know Zoo Tri-Brigade is, like, the most popular deck, I think, in Master Duel. So here I am, like, well, it's all cool and all, but you can't do anything, right? I'm going to grab something off the top. It ends up being a Caius. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any dark monsters, so it's not, like, that cool, but okay. Like I said, that's going to be follow-up for next turn, so it did end up kind of coming in handy there. I can normal summon there the Caius. Caius can go ahead and banish his Nerval so it doesn't get the effect, not that it matters, and then he ends up scooping. So that was pretty neat, I suppose. And last but not least, I don't know what it is. I don't remember, but we'll see what it is. And this isn't Platinum, so I guess that's worth something, right? I got up to the next Platinum, and then my connection went out for like the next 4 duels, and then I lost one, so I went back to like Platinum 3 or something like that. But this is like in the upper tiers of Platinum, whatever you want to call it. So it's not like it's not the worst deck in the world. It's really fun to play. Okay, Pantheism can go ahead and search. I think I have to just draw 2 again because I don't really have any plays right now, right? That's why I play the 1 Tenacity, because it's an extra copy of Pantheism, which is kind of neat. It's literally the exact reason why I play this. I think I ended up getting rid of 2 of my Monarch's Erupt, so not that fun. Oh yeah, this guy's playing Exodia, so maybe not like what you would think is like the best matchup, but we'll see what ends up happening here. Ancient Mephrophite can draw me a card. Hopefully it's something good. It ends up being a Luminous Lunar. I don't have anything because I pitched both of my Monarch's Erupt. I kind of had to, but alright. I guess it is a form of disruption at least. I get to steal one of his monsters. At least for the churn? I think it's just for the churn. Until the end phase, yeah. But I mean, that could come up surely for something pretty important. Okay, and there's actually a ruling in this duel specifically that I didn't know was possible. Or I didn't think would happen. So it's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to show it. I like to do that in these videos. There's always these like small rulings, and it kind of helps me learn more about the game. But okay, we'll get to it when it comes there. Obviously, I have no idea what I'm playing. He starts with the Upstart Goblin. Of course, he's going to be playing Chicken Game and stuff like that, which is makes sense. I think this card's at 3 here in Master Duel, which is kind of funny. The Bamboo package, of course, is really important, for the deck. I don't want him to draw 2 cards. If he's playing Exodia, what are those 4 cards going to be that are so good? I don't know. I don't think they're going to be good. Okay, Golden Bamboo Sword doesn't do anything. 1 Day of Peace. Okay, good for you. I forgot it was activated, and I try to go for game here during that next turn. A couple of these, I think when they're sent to the graveyard, I think it searches him 2 bamboo cards. He gets Duality. He gets his first piece of Exodia, or maybe. I don't know what his other cards in his hands are, but okay. He sets a card, and that's going to be it. Ancient Mephrophite's going to help me draw a card, which is pretty neat. I can use his chicken game. It's for both players, right? Which is kind of funny. I can go ahead and set that special summon the Eldlich. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to go for game here. One day a piece came down, duh. So maybe not the smartest turn I have here. Pantheism, I can go for the domain. I think he ends up giving me Pantheism. I was just trying to make it easier for me to tribute summon, but no harm, no foul. And then I go for an Erebus there. Erebus can go ahead and normal summon there. And I can send a couple of cards. The bamboo, it's not a hard once per turn, so he gets a double bamboo search. And this is where I thought I had him. But, okay, he's going to search the, like, regular bamboo card. One of them, like, I think gives you 0 attack. And then he gets the one that draws 2 cards, which is golden bamboo sword or something like that. Okay, Erebus can go ahead. I'm going to, get rid of the chicken game. That way I can definitely, cause damage here. I can get the other Eldlich out. So the Omni Negates is not online. I used it earlier, but okay. And I realized at this point, oh wait, I can't cause any damage. I just have to, disruption for one more turn. I think off the top he ends up getting another copy of Chicken Game. It's like, are you kidding me? But it's okay. I did search the Conquistador there. So it's honestly kind of a good thing for me that he top decked it because I did have the specific answer for it. Okay, so there goes the broken bamboo sword, and this is where that weird ruling comes up. So he's going to go ahead and activate, I think, the golden one. And when that happens, like, I go ahead and use Ether to tribute summon the Erebus. That way, like, in my mind, I thought, okay, there is no bamboo sword, but apparently, like, it doesn't miss timing. Why? Like, I still don't really understand that. I feel like that's like the definition of missing timing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.